This Lamborghini Revolto used to look like this. £425,000 later, it now looks like this. But ever since I've owned this car, I've never been able to start it. But we're hoping today we'll be able to do it. Okay, so just so we're all on the same level now, this Revolto has a V12 naturally aspirated engine. Attached to that, there's an electric motor at the back and 2 electric motors at the front of the car. And then there's a huge 300-volt battery which connects that all together. But when this car gets in an accident and the airbags deploy, it sends a crash signal to the computer which is attached to the battery to tell it not to send power to the rest of the car to prevent any fires in an accident. Now the issue is, this car doesn't have a starter motor. It uses the electric motor at the back to turn the engine to start the car. So without power from that battery, we can't start the engine. It's completely dead. Why won't you go? Still can't do it. So despite us changing all the airbags and rebuilding the entire car, no one has been able to reverse this crash shut-off data which is on the computer for the battery. And it appears that Lamborghini themselves haven't even developed the software to enable that crash data to be reversed yet. Technically, Lamborghini's fix for this right now is to buy a whole new battery which comes with that battery junction box at the front of the car. That's their fix. That's £35,000, and even then, there's no guarantee that that is actually going to work. But we're hoping we can do it without it. First off, because it's hybrid, and that's our issue, and because we're about to start messing with the hybrid battery, we're going to isolate it by plugging out this. So when we unplug that, now that should stop the hybrid battery from electrocuting us. We hope. Okay, this is the full hybrid battery. Lamborghini want us to replace this full hybrid battery, but we know the battery's fine. There's been no damage to the battery in the accident. There's literally been no damage. The damage only went as far as about here on the front subframe. So the battery's fine. The issue is the ECU, the computer which controls the battery. That's been shut off, stopping the power going from the battery to the rest of the car, and that's the reason why we can't start the car. Let's get to the source of the issue and we're going to see what we can do about it. Now the simple solution would be just to replace this junction box at the front of the battery which controls the computer for that battery, which has the crash data stored on it. But that's not a possible solution because Lamborghini won't sell this junction box separately. But we've got a plan. We just need to remove this junction box again so we can access that computer. Here we go. Again. And here it is. Loads of electronics on it. But the main thing is that computer there. That is what's got the crash data stored on it. Inside here it's saying, no, it's not safe to start. And when we plug into the actual OBD reader in the car underneath the dashboard, we can't actually cancel the crash data off it through the OBD because it's like a security block. It don't let you do it. Now we hope we've got a nerd that's going to come down and instead of trying to talk to this through the car, he's going to speak to this directly. Here is our nerd. Well, he's not really a nerd. He's part of the airbag team, but he's pretty good at his job. He's come down to the unit to try and help. And the first thing he's told us is open up this ECU and we're going to see if there's any familiar chips that are inside it that he recognises.
That one right there.
Is that good?
Infineon TC275. It's the same as the BMW iX3s, i3s, i4s.
Is that good?
Potentially, yeah. I'll be able to read it anyway.
How are you going to read that?
I'll obviously have to take it.
Yeah.
And work hard to pin out for it and then...
Let's hope, yeah. How long do you reckon that'll take?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll be able to obviously...
See you tomorrow. Good news. So this chip right here is used in loads of other electric cars like the BMWs. Now as the airbag team have dealt with this chip before, they might be able to talk to it directly to wipe off that crash data. So I waited to hear the news and finally we got it. So we're stuck. This thing is locked. Nobody can get in it. Not even Lamborghini themselves can get in it. So they've basically made a disposable battery management system. So as soon as it goes into the crash mode, you can't get it out of it unless they develop the software to get it out. And we don't know when that's going to be. The longer I wait, the more the value of that goes down. So we've had to give in. We've been left with no choice here. We've tried absolutely everything. And now it was either have a Lamborghini ornament or take the risk on buying a new battery. £35,000. This kind of feels like one of the worst scams ever. I've tried to explain to Lamborghini, we don't need the battery. The battery hasn't had any form of accident. All we need is that battery management system, which they won't sell separately. So we've ended up with the battery, which includes that battery management system. But now we've got to make the decision on whether we just fit the battery management system to our old battery, because I have no idea how to fit this battery or what this battery is going to look like, and then get this battery management system working with our old battery to prove Lamborghini that you don't need a new battery when this car crashes. Or do we just fit the whole thing because I paid for the whole thing? I'm going to make that decision once I open this box and see what it kind of looks like and how we've got to fit it. I guarantee I was the first person ever to buy one of these. The thing is, Lamborghini have told us this might not even be a guaranteed fix.
Here we go.
Just like everything else electric on the car, it's got to be coded to the car. Yeah. But of course my battery is already coded to the car. That's why I was thinking of taking the BMS module of this battery and putting it on my battery. And maybe we'd avoid the coding that way. But it's a bit of a risk. And to add to all of that risk, Lamborghini have told us that they might not even be able to code this battery to my car, because that software might not have even been developed yet. But this is our last resort. Now I'm thinking, because so in what I was thinking was that there was no electrics in that battery. It was just cells. It was just power. But Lamborghini have said that possibly that control module is coded to that battery, and that might be the reason why they don't sell that BMS separately. And I wasn't expecting the battery to come up like this. I didn't think that's how it works. So that those electric, there must be some sort of electrics in here, because the white plug in that thing goes into something in here. I think we change it. I think we're going to change it and try it. But it's all these. I don't remember any of these. You know, all these hoses, and we've filled all the coolant stuff up, haven't we? It looks like it's bolted from underneath. From what we can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 16 bolts holding this battery in, and then one big electrical plug at the back going to the back motor, and one big electrical plug at the front going to the front motor. That is it. Technically, this shouldn't be on. Okay, I'm going to try and change the full battery over. Let's see how this goes. Okay, yeah, there is electrics inside the battery, because that little white plug there, like these are just power lines, and that white one is some kind of communication. So, okay, I'm down for changing the whole battery. We've just got to figure out how we do this. This is literally only specially trained high voltage technicians can do this. So, like at first, I thought you couldn't unbolt anything under here, but it must be under these.
They're like little grommet things. Look, they must
come out or something. I don't understand them. I think we've got to do it. I want to see if it starts after this, without any coding from Lamborghini. First step is to try and remove these little grommets so we can access, hopefully, the bolts underneath them. There we go.
There's the bolt.
Okay, so they're triple X. We definitely should be trained for doing this. I think changing over that full battery with the battery management system connected to it is our best option. If I start swapping things over, I could run the risk that the new battery management system could get crash data on it. And once we've got crash data on it, we know what happens then. We can't get it off. Right now, I'm removing the coolant temperature sensors and the 2 coolant lines which feed and return the coolant from it. Once we drain the coolant out of it, it's on to the next step. Next off, the rear tray so we can access the plug at the back of the battery. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, there's an electric motor at the back and 2 electric motors at the front, which means there's an electric plug at the back of the battery and an electric plug at the front. We've got to remove both of them. And they're on with these safety latches, which I'm removing now. Yes. Don't put your fingers on that. Battery, fuel tank. Pretty close to it, isn't it? I covered over the terminals with a little bit of tape, just for safety. And then I can remove the ground wire from the battery. This seems pretty self-explanatory. Okay, ground wire off. It looks like now it's just about ready to come down. Righto, here goes nothing. We're going to try and lower it. And we're going to get it onto this Beta Tools box. This is not how they do it at factory.
Do you think Lamborghini are going to see this video?
Yeah, because they probably ain't done this themselves. Like, the only person to put a Revolto battery in is going to be the person or machine that put it in from the factory. No one else is going to put one in. No way. Lamborghini were even reluctant to sell a battery of this size to a member of the public, especially knowing they're going to attempt to fit it themselves. So we got fairly lucky there. But realistically, who's going to say no to selling a £35,000 battery? We just got to hope this solution works. The final couple bolts now are holding it in, and then all the weight should be resting onto this toolbox then. I've then got to make sure it's all clear, and Matt's going to lift up the ramp, and hopefully it'll leave the battery in place, sitting on top of that toolbox. And it looks like we've successfully done it. Yeah. The battery's out. We got a battery out. Wow. We've just made the Revolto lighter. The battery is out. We did it. There it is. We got a battery out with no training and no help. And that is what a £35,000 battery looks like. And if you crash it, what are they going to do with that? That's not good for the Earth. Greta, this is actually anti-green universe, green planet, really, because if you crash a car, you just replace the airbags and everything and get it back on the road. But the Revoltos, you're now going to have to dispose of a lithium-ion battery, which is not good. This is going to be fine in here. Like, the battery cells are going to be fine. So whether they can recycle that, we should have had an exchange rate with that one and that one. Okay, now we've got to do the swap. Removing it's one thing, fitting it is the most important part. We've got to get this right. I don't know whether I should try and start it without Lamborghini trying to code it. I don't know. Part of me wants to try it, but part of me is thinking, will it trigger the crash data again if it's not cleared? I'm going to try it. We've got to. There's no way we're fitting this full battery and not trying to start it afterwards. Even though Lamborghini have told us it does need to be coded to the car. First step is do everything we've just done, but in reverse. We lowered the ramp down onto the toolbox and we're whacking in 2 bolts at the front and 2 bolts at the back. That should just be enough to hold the battery to the car. Then we can lift the ramp back up in place.
Okay.
Now, let's put the rest of the bolts in. All 18 of them. I'm going to tighten these down. Once they're all tightened in, we can then reinstall the grommets, pushing them into place. Not forgetting to put on the ground strap. Tighten that onto the battery. Then the big plug at the back, lock that down into place. And then we're onto the front. That one done, now the front one. Attach the 2 coolant hoses, the temperature sensors, a bracket which holds the wiring, and then the 2 electric plugs can plug into it. And there's 1 black electrical plug, which are all the communication wires to the rest of the body of the car. And that, I think, is done. We've successfully installed a Revolto battery. Everything is in. I've not put all the trays on or anything like that because if we are going to have to take it to Lamborghini, I think they do a lot of tests on the wires before they code the battery to the car. What I'm going to try now is just plug it all in, put the 12 volt on. We probably shouldn't, but I'm going to give it a go. And if it doesn't work and something breaks, I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, well, you shouldn't have tried it. But if it does start, we could be a hero. Let's try it. Here goes nothing then. First off, let's connect the 12 volt battery. Okay. Battery on. I'm then going to go and top up the coolant for the battery system. This is in a separate reservoir at the back. I don't want to risk anything. If the car does start, I don't want that new battery to overheat. Now we're nearly ready to go. If there's a time to subscribe, then it's now. We can reactivate the hybrid by pushing in this clip. And let's do it.
Are you going to do the honours?
I'm going to do the honours because he's too scared to sit in and press the button, just in case it works and the airbags go off.
To be honest,
I've pulled the short straw.
yeah, I'm comfortable here, to be honest.
So Liam's going to be the guy to do it. Let's hope this all works. Still got drive system fault. See, look, we've got loads of fuel, but now our battery is on the minimum. And look, it says it doesn't know how many miles with it. So that says to me that hasn't got communication with the battery at the minute because it doesn't know how many miles it's got on there. We've had that before when we put the ignition on and we had the battery, the hybrid unplugged, so I don't think it's talking to it, but it's worth a try.
Or,
right.
currently it says at 25%, so it's read that, but is it the fact that it hasn't got enough charge to then read the mileage?
Maybe. It's all an unknown at the minute. The most we could do is just try. Here we go.
Yeah.
And put your foot on the brake. Come on. Yeah, please. Go.
No. Let's try again.
Go.
Nothing.
Okay. Next thing we could try is clear all the faults with my auto. And then try it. That's worth a try. So that's the plan. Liam's going to plug in the diagnostic tool and I was going to read all the codes, and because we've disconnected the battery, we might have a lot of them. So it's worth clearing them before we try again. Right, loads of faults, but the battery's been disconnected, so I'm just going to clear faults. The main fault that we're looking to have cleared is that crash shut-off fault. If that's still there, then it's really bad news. Let's see if that crash shut-off is still on. So if that's on, we know we can't start it. I think that was either in gateway or electronic drive. No. And it's good news. There are still some active faults in the battery system, but none say crash shut-off like what it did before, this crash shut-off triggered fault. So it should start. Right, try again. Try again. I've cleared everything I can clear. I'd switch the ignition off first. Send it. Go on. Foot on the brake and come on.
Nothing.
Okay. Let's try charge that hybrid then.
Oh.
Is that started?
That's the noise.
That started, Liam.
Is that started?
Flick it into engine.
I'm in performance and sport.
Flick it. You're in hybrid, didn't you? Flick it into Corsa.
It's in first then.
No,
the
no,
noise.
because it won't go in first. There is a gearbox fault on the car which stop it from going into first. What is that horrible noise? But when Liam tries to put it in first, it sounds like the hybrid part of the car tries to start up or move. What's it saying on the dash? But it won't stay in first gear. I went to trick the car to think the bonnet was latched, just in case it needs to be latched to move. Right. Try again. But we can't go into first or anything, can we? Like, don't even allow you to go into first gear because it's got some gearbox fault.
I think let's put some charge in it and see what that does.
We'll try the charge, yeah, let's try the charge. Okay, so what do you have to do to charge these? The charging point is at the front of the car. We've managed to borrow a charger because our one was broken, and we're just going to plug it in and hope.
Is this the first time you've used an electric charger?
Yeah, I've never used one. This feels really unnatural, especially on a Lamborghini. But if it's going to get the car to start, I'm not going to complain. So, we waited for it to charge up. I forgot, yeah, we still need to plug some things in at the front, but I don't think they're going to stop us from starting it. I don't think that daytime running light here, on that side is unplugged. That ain't going to stop us from starting it. We've got a ambient air temperature sensor, which is here. That won't stop it from starting it. It would probably just bring an engine light on the dash. And then like, there's a lot of stuff which isn't coded to the car, like the rear wheel steering, the dampers, and then we've got a gearbox fault which is stopping us from going into first gear, or any gear for a matter of fact, and we don't know why. I was just worried that that is stemmed ever since we put the exhaust on, but it's got nothing to do with it, but we were just around the gearbox area. But who knows? After about half an hour, we pulled the charge off. 50%!
Battery read.
Oh, it's saying it's got miles now.
Yeah, look. 2 miles.
Oh, it's gonna go. Come on, Liam. Stop. Straight up.
Go straight in with it.
Straight up.
Nothing.
Try again.
No.
Oh, I think we need Lamborghini then. Great. He's just mashing it. Ah.
Fucking good.
Well, I think we got crash shut-off thing off. I think, which is good. And now the airbag module has lost communication with the hybrid, which I think is a coding issue. So, but it's good that it's now showing charge, and we're now showing 2 miles on because it didn't do that before.
2 miles of range there.
So why is it not starting? It must be the coding issue. Okay, that didn't work. So we've got Lamborghini coming here, and they're going to do some coding, and hopefully they can get it to work. But in the meantime, I've got to put this whole car together so they can't moan that something's unplugged and that's why it doesn't work. We need no excuses. So, let's go. Now there was a fair amount of things that I have left off and left unfinished on this Revolto. There was some parking sensors out the front bumper, some trims out the front bumper, and all of which the parts have arrived now so I can start putting them together. But none of these parts that I'm adding to the car I thought would ever affect the car from starting. There's nothing to do with any startup procedure which I'm adding. You can see here I'm just adding under trays. But whilst I was doing this, me and my dad got a little curious as to what's actually inside one of these Lamborghini batteries. Okay, here's our old battery. Now what I'm interested to know is actually what's in them, and I know we shouldn't. I think I've got that thing where, do you know when you were a kid and like you take the TV remote apart and put it back together because you want to see what's in it? I want to do the same with this. The top cover of the battery was held together with loads of screws. Once we removed all of them, we can lift the cover off. Boom! Oh my God. To reveal, well, not much. That's like all individual cells then, is it? That's the cell, that's the computer for it. That's the cell, that's the computer for it. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you actually get 6 batteries for the price of 1, which is good. Yeah, it's only really loads of small little batteries, which like, that's mental how much power they output. So there's actually what looks like 6 individual battery cells all connected in line to power the electric motors on this Revolto. I think we should put it back. But that information didn't really help us at the minute.
I thought it was a bit disappointing.
What did you expect to be in there?
More than that.
I put back in all the screws to hold the top cover in, and then me and my dad got back to work on finishing the rest of the Revolto off. There was a broken wire for the wheel speed sensor on the back left, which my dad was sorting out, and I took the rear bumper off to install some more trims which were missing on it, and then we had to adjust the spoiler to make sure it all lined up with the bodywork. Again, none of this that we're doing now we thought would ever affect the car starting up or going into gear. But oh, was I wrong. We have just about done the kind of final fit up of the Revolto. There's a few final things that I want to do, but pretty much that is the final fit. Yes, it is a lot of different shades of white, which we will need to get painted, but obviously top list on our priorities to get this thing started. So all of this is now all in, and we've got all the arch linings in, a lot of the under trays on. We have left some under trays off because Lamborghini have said if it has to go to them for them to code it, then they need the under trays off so they can test the battery before they say it's okay to go. But watch this as well. Since we've plugged everything all in, we're in park. Neutral. Yes, look, we can actually get neutral now, and it stays in neutral since everything's plugged in. Now, the battery's a bit low, the battery's drained a bit. Whether all that stuff all plugging in and everything is going to make it start, I don't know. It's worth a try. I don't think it's going to work. But the battery is really low, it's in the red now, so it has been draining while sitting here. I don't think it's going to go because we've only plugged some more stuff in, but we're going to try. Go. Gearbox malfunction. No reverse gear. But I was able to put the car in neutral and it stayed there. I'm in neutral. Can I go into first? E.
Oh yeah.
I'm in E. Creeping not available. I'm in E. It's working. Yeah, I might be able to drive. I'm back in neutral. It's draining the battery, that was running. Well, not the engine, but the nose lift has gone up, so I get the ramp out. This might work. If it drives forward, it's working. But that sounded like it was on, didn't it? Not the engine.
I thought it was a radio, come on.
Do you know, like, even if it just drives around in electric? We haven't put all this in yet because, again, apparently they might need to get to all of that, so we have left all this out. I'm gonna give it a bit of charge because it's on naught. So plugging everything on seems to have fixed the gearbox fault to an extent. It still says we have no reverse gear, and the reverse gear is done purely by the electric motor. So there still is some kind of fault in there. But does it need to, do you know sometimes these you need to roll it and then it bump starts it? Do you know, it almost bump starts it. So we left the car on charge in hopes with the next time that we start it, we'll be able to put it in first gear, roll it forward, which might actually bump start the V12. Oh, we're well in the white here. The battery seems charged enough. Start button. Let's do it. I'm in E. That's me revving it.
So it registers that you're revving it?
Yeah.
But it just won't move?
It sounds like you're moving it.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere, is it? Red light.
So why won't it move? So if you put it in
That's
first...
what it sounds like, revving an electric car.
At least it makes some kind of noise.
There's some progress. It's registering my throttle, but the car won't move forward when I put it into gear. It says creeping not available. The only thing is that it doesn't have reverse gear. Oh, that's gonna be it, isn't it? Reverse gear is the front motors, and when it pulls along on electric mode, the front motors ain't working. So the front motor's not working properly. Invalid data received from coolant temperature control unit. Invalid data received from drive motor A. Invalid data received from drive motor B. Invalid data received from drive motor C.
Well, at least we've got drive motor D if he's got one.
I think there's only 3 in there.
Oh, we ran it then.
Perhaps that's the reason why we're not moving forward. This is it. 40% battery charge, 90% fuel. Well, looks like it's down to Lamborghini. At least we can rev it.
Get out and let Tony rev your car. It sounds sick from out here.
Oh yeah, no, let's rev it. Yeah. Whoa!
What? What did you do? What did you press?
What did you do? It went forward. Handbrake's on, the handbrake's
Right,
on.
take the handbrake off. Take the handbrake off. Go again.
Do it again. The car actually lunged forward. Turn it off and do it again. It's like it moved before it did the checks. Go. But no matter what we did, we could not get it to move again. Why did it move? It definitely moved, didn't it? It definitely moved. What? When we could not replicate whatever my dad did to get that car to lunge forward, no matter how many times we tried. Until... Oh! The handbrake was on! The handbrake was on!
The handbrake was on last time when I did it.
Yeah, but what did I do then? I did something... Stupid electric Lamborghinis. Well, it looks like our only option now is to call Lamborghini and get charged £40 million. Let's do that. Close, but we're not there yet. Thankfully, Lamborghini have come out and they're going to see if they can code the battery to the car. But before they do it, they have to run through a load of safety checks. And we've just got everything crossed this works. So Lamborghini are here at the minute and they're trying to code the battery to get it going. We can't film them, they don't want to be filmed, but they do want to do the work, which is good for us and also bad for you guys because you can't see what's going on. But from what we know, before they're allowed to code the battery to the car, they have to go and test every single high voltage wire to make sure that there's no breaks in it and everything is all good. So I think he's going to do the tests first and he's going to call us in if it's about time to start or if it does start. Fingers crossed. As soon as we get called in, we'll take you guys with us. Come on. But after a long wait, it wasn't good news. You ain't gonna believe it. Lamborghini have come, send their best technician out. Look at it. Look at it. Right, okay. 75% battery charge, 90% fuel.
He told us it didn't work. No way. So the Lamborghini tech told us that the coding didn't work. We were literally about to drive to Italy to take this to Lamborghini.
I know, I was going to show that it didn't start, and it started.
There's no way.
No way.
Can't believe it works. Did it rev? No way!
I can't believe that!
My hand is shaking.
No way! They clickbaited us. I don't. Do you think they know?
He literally just come in and was like, guys, it's bad news. It's not going to start. We're going to have to take it to Lamborghini Italy. We were planning a trip right now just to go to Italy.
Yeah, because like he literally said he was getting the same codes. He can't get it off, and he's waiting to hear back from Italy. But I'm not sure. He seemed so genuine when he said that. I'm not sure he even knows that it works because he's never tried it. The car started, but the big question now is, would it actually drive? Don't move.
It doesn't move. It won't move.
No. Creeping not available, the same thing. It doesn't go into first, and it don't move.
That's so strange.
Yeah, it's like the electric motors aren't working. We need to solve the next issue. We're slowly progressing, aren't we? We're slowly getting there. Whether it needs to go in Italy for the next step, I don't know. I think we need a drink. This is the best thing to have right now. I could not consume any food right now, but as it's lunchtime, a Y food is the best thing to have as a meal replacement drink because it's got all the vitamins and minerals it needs. And this one is a Matt Armstrong one, and it's even got Kevin on there. We're gonna have a huge moment now on turning it off and see if it turns back on. Before we do that, I need to take a sip of this. Oh my god. I'm shaking. I'm shaking that turned on. Off it goes. So this is a meal replacement drink. It replaces one of your meals throughout the day, whether you have it for breakfast, dinner, lunchtime, whatever it may be. People like me are constantly on the go, or if you say you're a builder and you're working away from home and you don't want to grab any fast food at lunchtime, it's a perfect meal replacement drink. That's a perfect thing for it. And on top of that, there's loads of different flavours to choose from. My favourite one is Happy Banana, hence why we got the Matt Armstrong edition in Happy Banana, but there's only limited numbers of these. Has this given us the power to restart it?
I think it's going to go.
You think it'll go again?
All my faith has been restored in this car.
If it does, everyone gets a discount code for one of these. Here we go. Oh, there's a lot of people getting a discount code.
Come on, Roberto.
It's not going.
Go on. Put
It's
it.
not. It's not going.
Go on.
I swear. That's exactly what I did last time.
Oh no.
Oh, at least we know it runs.
That's so
That
weird.
must have been like, do you know like what happened to us when it lunged forward, like after he's read the code in or something? It must trick the car somehow.
This car's a nightmare.
No one's going to believe us.
No, don't go. Don't go again.
So maybe the Lamborghini tech wasn't lying and he thought he actually hadn't fixed it.
You could still have discount code for Y food.
And remember, this Y food has 26 vitamins and minerals in it. It's high in fibre, high in protein, lactose free, it's gluten free, and there's no added sugar. You get 20% off one of these. Discount code on the screen right now. Maybe after I've done that, after I've just said that, it's gonna go again now. And if it does, no one's gonna believe me. Right, open the door, close the door. Just start it straight the way and trick it. That's what we did last time, wasn't it? All I did is do that and then wait. It says ready. Unbelievable. Yes!
I can't deal with this car.
What are we gonna do with this car? you can't have a car that starts sometimes, starts and you don't know why. Unbelievable, Jeff. Unbelievable. What? Okay, so the next step is to try and get this car to move forward. And at the minute you can see, creeping's not available. You ever watched Hot Fuzz?
Yeah, I have actually.
Yeah, where he goes, what we should do is go to the Winchester, have a pint and wait for it all to blow over. Something's still not right with it, isn't there? Like, it seems to be out of our hands. We've done everything we could possibly do to this car. And it's now in the hands of, like, computer nerds. Like, we've done everything mechanically right? I can't see anything that we've done wrong. We'll check the coolant now. Let's check the coolant levels. And then we'll evaluate what we're going to do next. Now, after taking a look, both coolant reservoirs have held coolant, and there was no need to top it up any further. But what I did need to do is continue building the rest of the car. That included all the front tub, the seals at the front, and the wiper blades, because now we've got to get this car as good as done. That's the front end complete, then the car can go in the air, and all the under trays and the panels can be put on underneath. I could do this now because Lamborghini have done all the tests on the wires and gave us the all clear. But we are going to need Lamborghini for the next part. At least, I thought I did. Let's attempt to get this out of the unit for the first time. Okay, that is everything all together. For the next step, we're going to get it out the ramp. For the first time ever since this car has been in here, it has not left this ramp. The nose lift is up. I don't know why. It's doing all sorts of weird things, but I think, from what I think, is if we start it up as fast as we can and whack it into gear before it does all the checks, we might be able to just send it outside. It's worth a try. We're just going to try and trick it, but we've got to get it outside for the next step. Here we go. Oh! Handbrake.
Whoa!
Yes! Go!
He's driving! You got nothing else? You did a wheel spin. Look, you've actually left 11s in the unit. Oh, yeah!
Right, okay, I think I've got it. We're nearly outside. It seems I'm able to trick the system by starting it and get it into gear as fast as possible before the system does its checks.
It's out!
And look at that. It made it out the unit.
It drives.
We cheated it.
It's actually made it out the unit. Look at that.
It made it outside. An unorthodox way, but yes, the Revolto made it out with its own power. And that says a lot, being the state that it arrived at the unit in. It might not be perfect, and it might not be driving just yet, but we've taken some massive leaps already. So here's the situation. We have got, well, at least 4 steps closer to actually driving and finishing this car, but it's out of our hands now. Lamborghini have been told that Lamborghini Italy will not send the correct code in for this car until this car is inside a Lamborghini main dealership. Because no one's ever fitted a battery to a car like this before, and they've never fitted a Revolto battery, they want to make sure it's 100% right. If they do it inside my unit and something went wrong, say the battery set on fire and then set fire to my unit, that's a big claim on the side of Lamborghini. So they want to make sure it's 100% right, so for that reason it needs to go to the Lamborghini dealer. I don't know what they're going to charge for this, but we literally have no other choice. So for now, this car is getting on the trailer and going to Lamborghini, and we can only hope that they can sort it. If they haven't, we are well and truly done for. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. What are we gonna do with this car? It's not good. It's not good for like anyone's, like, it's not good for mental health, is it? Like